Man, ladies and gentlemen, part two, second video of the day. So we're not even gonna mess around. We're just gonna get straight back into this. This is Anwan's cousin, the first victim. Well, I should say accomplice slash victim, whatever you want to call him, however you think of him. Um, the first person who testified, this is his cousin right here. So we're going to go ahead and continue. I just dropped the first video where he was pretty much refusing to answer any key details. He answered all the, where'd you grow up? Who's your friends? How'd you guys meet each other? He answered all the bullshit, nonsensical questions. I should say the building block questions, but he never wanted to answer the actual ones. So here we go. This is after the recess, and I think they kind of, they said, hey, your freedom is a little bit on the line here. And I believe they got him to cooperate. So part two, people, he's going to explain the situation that went down with Brice Rhodes. Let's get into this thing.
How did you feel about this situation?
I was young. I just went along with it, to be honest with you. We all did, you know what I'm saying? Kind of,
I'm sorry, what was the last thing?
we just went along with it.
Did Mr. Rhodes, to your knowledge, did he ever show up with money from this price on the head business?
No, man.
After the shooting, what did you all do?
We went to Brice Rhodes' house.
You know what's crazy? This interview is cut a certain way where I think they pretty much agreed for him not to say what happened during the shooting, but after it happened. I don't know, because it's kind of like they skipped over, were you in the car with them? Who was in the car? Where were they positioned in the car? Like they did with the other cousin. You know what I mean? So I think they were like, okay, we could get our point across if we just skip over that little part. What happened after that incident happened? I don't know. But I'm going to look around and see if there's a continuation. But these two videos that I'm doing, they cut in between somewhere. They take a recess and it just starts here. A little interesting to note.
We went to Brice Rhodes' house.
Did all five of you go or just some of you?
We all went.
Okay. What happened at their house?
We didn't really talk about much. We just basically just told us not to tell nobody. That was it that I remember.
Okay. Did you all discuss it later amongst yourselves?
Not really.
Hmm.
I mean, to be honest, we ain't never seen nobody like get shot, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie, we was all scared, you know what I mean? It wasn't just them two, we was all scared, you know what I'm saying? Brice, Larry, all of us, we was scared, man.
You were scared?
Yeah, we was young, you know what I'm saying? We just went along with it.
Damn, imagine all that shit happens and you guys are so scared you don't even talk to each other about it. It's just like, let it be a bad dream. Let's just go to sleep. Let's just do something else. That's crazy feeling right there.
Did you all, any of you, discuss this prior to May 21st?
Yeah, me and Brice did. And Larry, he told me he wasn't messing with Brice anymore because of the situation.
Judge, I'm going to object to yourself.
Did Brice Rhodes say anything?
No.
Okay. Did he say anything about Larry and Maurice?
Just said that he can't mess with them no more. because
Imagine Maurice is like your best friend and you end up having to kill him. That is the craziest thing, man. I don't even know how that, like, man. And it's like, you don't want to die, so what are you going to do? Your little 15-year-old brain is just like, well, fuck it. Everybody said we're going to do it. And I feel like that's where his manipulation came into point. Brice's manipulation, I should say, because he was like, oh, yeah, let's take a vote. He knew that his hold on, give me some water. He knew that his vote was gonna be the strongest, so he's like, "Yeah, we gotta take care of business," and everybody else went along with it. That is terrible, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
they told their mama about the situation. He feared they would say something to the police.
So he believed they told their mother?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does he mean that you can't mess with them?
No,
What did you, I know you don't know, but what did you understand that to mean?
Judge, we reject the speculation.
I'm gonna sustain that.
Okay. Did he tell you anything that he thought should happen?
He feared they would tell him, so he was saying we can't mess with them no more. Yeah, get him back for telling him. That's what I remember.
Get him back for telling?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he say anything more specific?
Not really, not that I remember.
Do you remember talking to Detective Tonelli about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think if you saw a transcript of your conversation that might help refresh your memory?
Yes, ma'am.
I bet you Brice is right over there somewhere, mad dogging him like, say something else. I swear to God, I feel like that's the whole reason his demeanor is like that. He doesn't even want to glance over to him. So instead of doing that, just keep your head down and just do what you gotta do. I feel like he was the nice one in the group. The I don't know how to say it. The emotional one, not emotional, but the more empathetic one out of the group. You know what I mean? His cousin seems like the one who don't give a fuck. The way his eyes are, the way he look at you, and it's just like, yeah, we just let it go. We just let it go. He seems like one of them ones. Like he seems like a shooter for real, for real. So yeah, there's a big difference between him and his cousin. I feel like the cousin's the more hardcore one. He was looking around the court, like, yeah, try to say something to me. Yeah, you see how wide his eyes were and shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. So. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That's a little crazy.
What did he tell you he wanted to do to them?
So we gotta kill him.
At
Damn.
that time, did you believe him?
Shocked. I mean, I didn't know what to believe, to be honest, because of the Chris situation. I didn't really know. I just what I don't really know.
Where were you when he said this?
As I remember, it was just we was in the car one day. I don't remember what day. I don't remember what day. I just remember we was in the car and he was telling me this because Maurice was scared. You know what I'm saying? Like he was scared that he was gonna tell or whatever. So he was telling me that.
Judge, it's difficult for me to hear the answer, but I believe it's a mix of hearsay and non-hearsay. So we reject the hearsay part.
Sustain.
Let's move on to, in this time period, were there days when you saw Maurice and Larry?
Yeah, we was still with him every day after that.
Okay.
Me and Amwan was.
Were there days that you saw Brice Rhodes?
Yeah, at times, not often.
And you hear that? He was hanging out with the boys every day since that event. And Brice is saying, nah, we can't fuck with them. We're going to have to take them out. We're going to have to do this and that. Like, know your real enemy, bro. I don't know how these guys ended up with Rhodes again after that night. That just baffles me, bro. Like, you saw him shoot this random dude. You know this guy was a fucking random person. There's no way. It's a random dude in the street. Cool. He tells us not to tell nobody. Cool. We get out that night. We don't see him. it's a new day. Why the fuck would we ever even contact him again? I don't care if he knows your mama, this or that, the other. You see his car in the front, you go out the back. You wait till he leaves, you come, like, nah, bro. I would not be interacting with him ever. Any of them. Like, I don't get that.
Every day after that,
Okay.
me and Amon was.
Were there days that you saw Brice Rhodes?
Yeah, at times, not often.
Okay. Tell us about May 21st, which I believe would have been that Saturday.
Just I remember riding around with my cousin, Q. Me and Amon was riding around with Q that day.
So Q is the nickname of your another cousin?
That's my cousin.
So Q and Anwan and you were in a car?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you all doing?
Just riding around, females. Q had a girlfriend. We were just riding around. I was calling Brice and we was calling Larry because we was trying to go back to their house that day. And, kept calling and stuff like that because we usually we'll go out, we'll be out that day, and like at the time I really didn't have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So
Where were you living then?
that's the house.
House to house?
Different friends' house.
What was going on with your? Did you typically live with your mom or your dad?
I had issues with my family.
Okay. So did you? How long had it? Well, when you were really little, did you live with your mom or your dad or both?
My mom, for the most part. My dad got killed.
Damn. Man, what a life, bro. Homeless, no dad. You have problems with your mom. That shit is terrible, dog. So I guess you do kind of understand why you would kind of gravitate to some asshole with a little car and a little apartment, and you'll feel like this guy can maybe not help you, but it's like a positive thing in your life. Maybe you could get some money out of it. Maybe you could do some. But man, misled as fuck. Like seriously misled. It's unfortunate.
At that time, were you living with your mom?
Yeah, I was living with my mom off and on. That's the reason why I was bouncing from house to house because I didn't know where to stay at the time.
Okay. Okay, so you had a cousin Q who was driving you around that day with Anwan. Was he also Anwan's cousin, or was it the other side of the family?
Q didn't really look at him as a cousin, but you could say that because Antoine, which is Anwan's brother, is Q's cousin too. That's my mom's sister.
Okay.
So we was all cousins anyway.
So you Anwan and Antoine have different moms or dads?
They got different moms, same dad.
Okay. So Antoine was your all's cousin, and he was Anwan's brother. Mm-hmm. So you are related to Anwan through that. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So you're riding around with Q. What happens?
Calling. I was calling Reese, calling him back to back, trying to see. We was trying to go over there that night. Something as I remember, I said that Maurice actually he called me and let me know he was. I forget at the time. No, I'm sorry about that. Rephrase that. I called him to go over there, and we finally went over there. They was gone. Me and Butter went over. They was gone. And
So you went to the house where they lived with their mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Over by Jacorey Park?
Yes, ma'am.
And they were not there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I was confused because, he told me, after Maurice was telling me that he wasn't hanging with him no more, and fooling with Brice no more, I was confused of why he was still with him.
See?
And why they was still, with Brice after the situation with Chris. So I went there to spend the night, me and Butter did, and we got there. Their cousin answered the door, and they wasn't there. They wasn't there that night. When we left, we kept calling Maurice's cell phone. I called Brice's cell phone. I was like, "Where Maurice and Larry at?" And he said that they right here and stuff like that. And Maurice was in the background and Larry's in the background partying. There's people over there. I just thought everything was fine at that point. I didn't really think nothing like back when you asked me like was he serious? You know what I'm saying? Like about doing that to them. I mean, at that point I didn't think he was serious no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really think nothing of it. I thought he was just gonna let him live. We was all gonna be cool.
See, but how is Maurice and Larry there though? If he said Maurice was the most paranoid, the one that probably would tell. If anybody were to tell, it'd be Maurice. Why is Maurice there, bro? In the first place, that's what I don't get. And even him, he's on the streets for real. You know what I mean? Like you could say he's for real on the streets. He knows about shit. He's living house to house. You know, you're having a different experience than Maurice, who has a home. You know, as fucked up as Maurice's home is, it's a little different when you're bouncing, you know, bouncing around. I had a friend who was kind of bouncing around for a while, and it's like, you know, you experience different things. If he's even like, why the fuck would he go to Brice's house? That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, why are we at Brice's house? Let's just go to Maurice. Let's chill at. So that part to me is I don't understand that.
You know, stuff like that. I didn't really think he really gonna do that. I thought we was gonna party, so I insisted on going anyway. Even though Q and N1 told me not to go, I insisted because I ain't had nowhere to go. Q and N1 really could have went to their family meeting. I just wanted somewhere to stay at night. I ain't really wasn't thinking about hurting nobody or nothing like that. We wasn't thinking like that. N1 didn't want to go.
Shit, Anwan didn't want to go. That's probably why Anwan looks like that with his bulging eyes. Probably pissed the fuck off. Like, man, I'm not even supposed to be here, bro.
My cousin didn't want me to go, but I insisted on going anyway.
So you went to get someplace to stay?
Yes, ma'am. So we went to Brice's apartment that night. My cousin Q dropped me off. He dropped me and N1 off.
Why didn't Q go?
Q said, fuck
Q
that.
didn't want me to go anyway. Q didn't really fool. He didn't really fool with too much with Brice anyway. He didn't want me around him. So that's why he didn't really want me to go.
See, Q was the smartest person in that crowd. Shout out to Q. Q should have cussed him out, got into a fight with him, and should spin something, bro. Get into a big ass fight, something. Don't make him go there. Change his mind real quick. Get him pissed off. Like, damn, bro. Come on, Q. Actually, don't shout out Q. Q should have been more like, come on, you dropped him off. I would have been like, well, go figure out how you're gonna get there. Bye. Get the fuck out. Like, go catch the bus. Then Anwan would have been like, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that shit. And then he probably wouldn't have gone. Q should have said, nah, I'm not driving you nowhere.
And, we went that day. As I remember, it was people in the house. I believe a female and two guys, a female and a guy, as I remember. So and they was drinking. Everything was cool at that point. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just in the house, you know, chilling. You know, I remember two other people being there, and I never seen them before. Mia, N1. Never seen them before.
Were Maurice and Larry there when you got there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Why were they there?
So it was Maurice, tell me if I get this right, Maurice, Larry, Brice Rhodes, a female, and two dudes you'd never seen before? Okay. And so at first everything's cool?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long did everything stay cool?
Everything was cool until we was all drinking and we was all just there, and I didn't know the other two people that was there, the two gentlemen there. So I'm really confused at that point. I didn't really we just partying, we kicking it, and then I remember that Brice said he asked Maurice, "Are you telling on me?" or something like that. Are you telling on me? Are you telling on me? Or something like that. Something like that. I just remember that part or something like that. He was asking questions and stuff like that. And Maurice had said something to me, and we was kind of arguing. We got into a dispute. And as I remember, that was before Brice had asked him, "Are you telling on me?" it had nothing to do about, you know, the situation. Me and Maurice just got into a dispute over the fact, like, we was all drinking, we was partying, stuff like that, and stuff kind of, you know what I'm saying? So,
You see what I'm saying? He set that up to just get the kids drunk, you know, get the children drunk, and do what he really wanted to do. Influence all the children, and then get them to do what he wanted to do. They're arguing about something completely different, nothing to do with nothing. And then Brice is like, hey, I heard you telling on me though. Fuck what y'all got going. I heard you was telling on me. He was just waiting for his moment. And I mean, they're 16, 17, 15. They can't hold their liquor. They're going to have a few drinks and get super rowdy really quick and super fumbly and stumbly. So at that point, Rhodes could do whatever he wants. Like, bro.
he asked him, like, are you telling him? And he kind of denied it, like, nah, I ain't doing that, stuff like that. At that point, he said we got to violate him and stuff like that. I didn't understand. He just wanted, like, he just said violate him. And then, as I remember, before that, I just remember Maurice picked up a knife on me or whatever. And Brice had grabbed the knife from Maurice. And that's when he hit him. You know what I'm saying? He hit him.
So he hit who?
Hit Maurice.
And who is the one doing the hitting?
He hit Maurice because he picked up a knife on me.
But I'm sorry, just to be clear, who hit Maurice?
Brice.
Okay. Was the female still present at this point?
Female? Nah, everybody left. The female left because it was too many dudes there. As I recall, like, it was too many dudes at that point, so she left, and the other two people stayed. Damn. And Butter was there, and Maurice and Larry was there. But after that, he kind of, like, he didn't really go at me with the knife. He did, but he didn't. It was aggressive, so he hit him. Brice hit Maurice and made him put the knife. He grabbed the knife from him, and that's when he insisted on doing what he did.
How does the logic level up, bro? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's bad. Hey, by the way, we should just kill this motherfucker. Why don't we do that? You know, votes? Anybody? Like, what? How does, like? So the two people who were there were for sure ready for that. The whole night they were ready for that. Those are Brice's, I don't know, real friends. You want to say real accomplices, real, like, I don't know, somebody his age. I'm assuming. You got these kids over here. I bet you they're his cousins or some bullshit. I bet you it's some family tie because I bet you this shit runs in the family. That shit is outrageous to me. Like, what the, like, shit.
Everything's cool. You and, just tell me if I'm getting this timeline right. You and Maurice kind of get into a little argument. I mean, did you think it was a serious argument?
We've been into it before, and next day we right back. Right back good. So I didn't think nothing of it. We didn't think to do it in that, you know, it don't matter.
Okay.
Make it that serious to even, you know what I'm saying?
So when he pulled the knife, were you scared?
At that point, we all confused, you know what I'm saying?
No, I meant when Maurice pulled the knife.
I remember lunging, like,
Pardon?
I remember jumping back, like lunging back, like, you know what I'm saying?
And so at that point, Maurice pulls the knife. Mr. Rhodes takes the knife.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you said he hit him, was it a slap or a punch? Or what? Describe it however you remember it.
I don't remember. I know it was either a slap or a punch. I just know he hit him, and he took the knife from him.
Where were you all in the apartment?
He was in the living room.
And was everybody standing, sitting?
So, we was standing at that point. Everybody was standing around.
Okay, so after
Ugly
the
ass.
punch or hit, I'll say hit, is all this happening before?
It looks like there's even a wart on the back of his neck. I mean, on the back of his ear. It's like his glasses, and then there's a wart. What the fuck?
After he started talking about the violating.
You going to jail,
I
dog.
just know that he said we gotta violate violate him or something, violate them or violate him
And is that after he hit him?
after he hit him. Because he,
I'm just trying to get the timing. I'm sorry.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he says, so is that like disciplining?
Yes, violate whatever he was planning on doing. Violate somebody.
When he said that, what happened next?
He told he said something about, he told me to Brice had told me to he said I want you to, he said I want you to violate him.
The fuck?
I was scared, so you know I'm like, what you mean? He said it. He's like, I want you to punch him in his chest, and if you hit him in his face, I'm gonna hit you. He told me it's my reach. Then, I just remember he had me punching him. He said stop, something like that.
Okay, see, I like how he's confusing these kids and shit because we used to do little shit like that, you know. Like, I don't think we would say violate somebody, but it's like, oh, you know, you did something uncalled for, we're just gonna hit you in the arm really hard or punch you in the chest, like anywhere but the face, right? Because, you know, we're not fighting for real, you know? Like, you know, it's gonna make it hurt, make it swell up and shit. How does that turn from that into using a knife, though? That's like... And I don't know why Maurice and Larry were there in the first place. I don't know if they got forced to go with him from his house, if their mom made them go. I don't know, but that doesn't make no sense that they were in that house in the first place, bro.
And he had I got to tie him up. We got to tie him up or something like that. As I remember, you know, it's been
So
a while,
fucking
so
weird.
I just remember certain detail like that. You know what I'm saying? That I can remember. But I just remember that he said we got to tie him up, and tied him up, and you know, pinned him down. And he stabbed Maurice, and
Who stabbed Maurice?
Brice did.
Okay. Was Maurice tied up at that point?
Yeah, he was tied up.
What was used to tie him up?
I don't really remember. I just remember that he was tied up. And
Okay. Who did the tying?
Brice did. And somebody else that was there. I don't really remember.
See, it was Bryce and his homeboys. I don't want to hear that. I don't know somebody else who was there. Was it the two people that you did not recognize? That's what's important.
He was tied up, and he had a sock in his mouth. And he pinned him down, and he began stabbing. He made anyone stab him too.
Did you see where he was stabbing him?
Man, stomach, chest, stuff like that.
Do you know how many approximate times it was?
It was a lot. I don't really remember.
It was a lot. That's what
What
they
was
all say.
Maurice doing while this was going on?
That's what him and his cousin said. It was probably so much. It was just like, you know, it's like just a lot. Bro is weird, bro. And I understand that's this type of aggression toward a grown man, but these are kids. You should have never did the move. You should have never did the hit with them in the car in the fucking first place. Like, what is going on? He was the oldest one. You probably could have did the hit with him. He seemed to be able to keep his mouth closed. You know what I mean? He's 17. That's why he's almost a grown man. These kids were 15. Like, what the fuck are you, like, dumb, bro? Brice is really stupid.
What can you do?
Who was in the room while this was happening?
Damn.
Yeah, it was me, Butter, Brice, two other people, and Maurice. He's pretty much fighting, you know, trying to, you know, he made N1 stab him, and once N1 stabbed him, he kind of moved him to the door. He just had me standing there.
You were standing by the door?
two other people that was in there, I didn't really know. They was already there when we got there, so I'm thinking that, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, couldn't do nothing but stand there, worrying if somebody's gonna do something to us for, trying to interrupt anything. So he went to he kind of took my reach to the door. Well, I don't really remember who, but I just remember he going to the door, and Larry was in the bathroom. He made Larry come out, and the same thing happened to Larry. And once he did Larry, he made me stab Larry.
So I'm sorry to make you talk through this again, but I want to just get the picture of where everybody is. While Maurice was being stabbed, where was Larry?
He was in the bathroom.
How did Larry get to the bathroom?
The other two people put him in there.
See, those are Brice's. Those are the people. Those are the true accomplices. Those are the true accomplices. And I don't even care if these two are bad kids. Who cares? Like that's what happens when you grow up. You're a teenager, you do stupid shit. But Brice and those other two unknown gentlemen, those are the real ones. You know what I mean? Bro who got the 10 years is kind of like he's a casualty. And one wanted to go home. You know what I mean? He wanted to go home. He never wanted to go to Brice's house. They already saw him do that crazy shit to this other guy. He wanted to go home. And now he's over here. He's in this house now. You know what I mean? And you have two people there conveniently that you've never seen before, all set up by Brice.
Want to go to the bathroom?
They made him.
Could you hear Larry in the bathroom?
I don't really remember. I just know he was in the bathroom until Maurice was pulled out the living room.
After you said Brice Rhodes stabbed Maurice a lot of times, and then he made Anwan stab him.
Yes, ma'am.
Had Maurice stopped moving at that point?
I don't really remember, ma'am. I just know that he pulled him to the side and made Larry come out next.
How did he pull him to the side?
Put him by the door.
Was Maurice walking? Or was he down on the ground?
He was down.
No shit.
And did he drag him to the door or carry him to the door? You know?
I just remember he was, can I grab a tissue? I just remember he grabbed him to the door. He slid him to the door, and I don't know, man. And Larry came out. I just know he had somebody watching the door to make sure wasn't nobody coming in the house.
When Larry came out, could he, could he see what happened to his brother, or were his eyes covered?
Not that I remember.
You can't remember? Okay. So let's walk through what happened to Larry. I'm sorry, but how did it start? Was he tied up?
Same thing. I just remember that. I remember him trying to break free, and he pinned him down and began stabbing him. Then after he was down, he had me the knife and made me stab him as well.
How many times did Brice Rhodes stab Larry?
I don't recall. I don't really remember.
A lot.
I just know that he stabbed him.
To your knowledge, did he appear alive when you were stabbing him?
No, ma'am.
How many times did you stab him?
Just once or twice. After the fact that
Did Brice Rhodes say anything about why he was making you stab Larry?
I mean, not really. I just know once we was in it. There was no, we involved. Pretty much we there. We just, so we just as guilty. We there. Couldn't do nothing though. I mean, I was scared. So it was all scared. I don't know. I just know. Couldn't really say him.
Damn.
Did the other two guys participate in the stabbing in any way other than restraint?
Yeah, after the fact they was already down, he made them stab him as well.
Did you know these two guys at all?
Never seen him. Me and Anwan never seen him. I believe Maurice and Larry knew the other two guys, but we didn't know him.
Were you later able to give a description of either of them to Detective Sinelli?
No, he's brown skin or light skin or something like that. Well, as I can remember.
So you described one of them as light-skinned and one of them as darker-skinned?
He was light skinned.
Okay.
Brown skin, light skin.
Did you have anything else to go on?
Yeah.
I feel like he does. I feel like he did, but obviously he's not trying to divulge that information. He was like, "No, ma'am," and looked down really quick. Yeah, I already can tell when this man lying. But again, he has to live out in these streets. Apparently he's free. And yeah, you don't want to reveal too much, especially if life is still tough right around this point. You're not trying to put your life in danger. Is all I'm saying.
Skinned and one of them as darker skinned?
He was light skinned.
Okay.
Brown skin, light skin.
Did you have anything else to go on?
Yeah.
After Larry was down, what happened to his body?
The same thing. He moved him to the side of the door. He made us put him in like laundry totes or something like that.
Laundry totes? When they were, to back up 1 second, when they were in the living room, were they just on the carpet or was there anything down on the carpet? Like, when they were kneeling down, if you recall, was it just they were on the carpet or was there a blanket down or anything? Sheets, anything?
I don't really recall.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So you all put them in laundry totes?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we talking like laundry hampers, like you would carry your
Yes, ma'am.
laundry down the steps in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, they're in laundry totes. Now what happens?
He made. I just remember. He made us carry. He made all of us carry him to the car.
And which car was that?
The blue Mazda.
Did you all put them in the Mazda?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the bodies go?
I feel like somebody took advantage of this guy in jail. I feel like someone's been taking advantage of him in jail because something about it is saying that he's somebody's bitch in jail. Something about it, bro, because he came in all fiery and angry, disrespecting the judge, doing this, that, and the other, right? All of a sudden, he might still be doing his little flexing thing, making his face up, but your boy is quiet and looks used and abused. Look at that head. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Like, I just want to smack it with gloves on, though. Put some gloves on and just make that shit just welt up even more. What is wrong with it? Tell me, what is wrong with your head, sir?
Oh, like what part of the car?
It was either the back seat or it was the trunk. I don't really remember. I just know that he took the blue Mazda.
Okay. Did you all get in the car after that?
No, me and Anwan actually stayed back. He told us don't go nowhere. He made us clean up.
How did you clean up?
I just told Anwan, we gotta get out of here. And we gotta use bleach. got use bleach to get this up. We just cleaned it. We cleaned it up with bleach.
What happened next?
Cleaned up until he got back.
He got back?
Yes, ma'am.
By he, who are we talking about?
Brice.
And did he come back alone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he tell you what happened to the bodies?
Said that someone said it was burnt.
He said he burned them? Did he say who burned them?
No, ma'am. He just said he dumped them in the backyard.
And he told you the bodies were burnt?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he tell you where he dumped them?
West End somewhere.
West End?
Yes, ma'am.
Was he satisfied with y'all's cleaning job?
I don't know.
Did you all clean more when he got back?
He was just trying to dispose of all the evidence, pretty much.
So what happened with that?
He made me and one clean the blood. When he got back, he was disposing of evidence. So
What type of evidence?
could have been clothes. It could have been. You said sheets. I don't really recall. I just know it was evidence.
And was it stuff with blood on it?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you all do with that stuff?
It was took to a dumpster and they burnt the stuff up.
Okay. Why didn't you and Anwan just leave during the night?
You said, why didn't we?
Why didn't you? While he was gone.
I was too scared, to be honest with you. I wasn't even in my right state of mind at that point. I mean, me personally, I never witnessed or seen nothing like that in my life, so. Man, I don't know why we didn't leave, man, to be honest. I just know we was scared. We just went along. We just did what he told us to do.
Damn, scared shitless. That's what that was. They couldn't, like, my ass would have been out of there. Out of there. You think I'm shit? Straight to the police station. Yep. And this was my involvement. And it probably would have been a better sentence than what his cousin got. And I don't know. Again, I don't know how he's not in jail right now. Crazy to me. But I don't see any orange jumpsuit, and I see a hoodie on, like he just pulled up to the spot, to the scene. So I don't know what's up with all that, but y'all let me know. But I mean, shit, man, that is just probably the most traumatic story he'll ever have in his life. There's nothing that'll top that shit other than like war or some shit. Like, damn.
So when he got back, and you all dealt with the evidence, what happened next?
I just remember riding around and getting dropped off, as far as I remember.
Where'd you get dropped off?
I know we went to a few spots, but I don't really remember the spots we went to. I just know we took us somewhere. I went home, and then M1, he got dropped off somewhere. So, I don't know. After that point, I went to my grandmother's house, and that was it.
Should have went to your grandma's house from the start saying you're homeless. He wasn't really homeless. He was having problems with his mom. Suck that shit up. Handle your business and go the fuck home, you 17-year-old. Come on, man. Damn, they messed up. Threw away a lot of their life. At least they're getting out. And Brice needs to go for a couple life sentences, at least 3.
Did you eventually,
At least 2, I mean.
well, did you have a pair of black Timberlands?
Yeah,
Tell us about those.
those was originally mine. Those are my boots that I got. I just I let Maurice have them at that time. I don't know if I had them on that day or the situation. I don't know if I had them on that day. I just know they had blood on them. And then everything that I had on, I just was trying to get rid of. Looked like the only thing I had was the boots on. And I just remember putting them in a closet at my girlfriend's cousin's house. And I put them in a closet. And I kept them there until I was picked up by police.
Was that Monisha Anderson? Monisha, was that her name? Your girlfriend's cousin?
Yeah, Monisha Anderson.
And was that on Liberty Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
And after, well, were you arrested on this 3 days after it occurred?
I was arrested on May 25th after the 22nd. So, you know, I was arrested. And I knew they was coming for me, obviously. They already arrested Brice and Ann one, so I knew they was coming for me.
And that day, did you talk to Detective Tonelli?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell him what you just told the jury on May 25th?
Around that time, everything, my first testimony, my first statement, I did.
What sort of statement did you give at that time?
I just told him that I didn't know.
Why did you say that?
Scared. I didn't know. I just didn't want to say what was going on at that time. I mean, be honest, I really didn't want, I didn't know what to say, man. I didn't know. I just didn't tell him everything. I just remember saying certain things. I didn't really tell him everything that was going on in the situation.
Later on, did you give a different statement?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And what had changed at that point?
Everything I just said, pretty much, in the first one. Everything I just said.
Is this the true statement?
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, did you receive some correspondence from Brice Rhodes? A letter?
Yes, ma'am.
She said, have you ever received some correspondence from Brice Rhodes? And his brain went, it started malfunctioning. She was like, a letter. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
I'm going to show you, I'm just going to go through these page by page before we talk about them with the jury, just to make sure that we have, what we're talking about. All right, do you recognize this page? Did Brice Rhodes give this to you? Okay. And what about this page? Did Brice Rhodes give this to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he give this to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the fourth page?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he give these four to you at the same time or different times?
It was the same time.
Okay. Did you see him as he gave these to you? Like you physically got these from him?
No, I didn't physically get them from somebody. Gave them to me.
Okay. Did you see that all take place?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, the Commonwealth moves to admit these.
Judge, we would object and move and ask you further.
Sure. Mr. Taylor, did you recognize this as Brice Rhodes' handwriting?
I know it's passed to me. I don't know if he writes like that or not, if that's what you're asking. I don't know if he writes like it or not.
Sir, was any of this, was killing Christopher Jones your idea?
That was none of our idea. It was brought to us.
It was brought to you? Whose
ma'am.
idea was it?
Brice's idea.
Who shot Christopher Jones?
Brice.
Was killing Larry and Maurice your idea?
No, ma'am.
Whose idea was it?
Brice.
Who began the stabbing of Maurice Gordon?
Brice.
Who began the stabbing of Larry Ordway?
Brice.
Who told you to stab Larry Ordway?
Brice.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Jones-Brown.
Shit, that was a heavy one, y'all. That was crazy, man. Sure. The ending was powerful too. The way she had him say Brice like 7 times. Like, yeah, Brice, Brice, Brice. Pretty much painting a very clear picture for everybody. And again, I don't know what defense's aspect of all this shit really is, because I don't see what they can do. Like, I mean, unless they can just wave a magic wand in front of the jury and be like, non-guilty verdict. That's the only way I could see them winning this trial. This is worse than OJ's circumstances. Like, you know what I mean? This shit is crazy. So I'm expecting a guilty verdict. I hope he doesn't get capital punishment, because he deserves to spend all his time existing and feeling the torment of existing and not being able to do anything. You know, we're social creatures. We need to be able to stretch our wings, go outside, talk to people, feel the sun. I hope he gets none of those things while he's still alive. But that's just me personally. I'm gonna head up out of here, y'all. I love you guys. You're amazing. I'm gonna see you in the next one. And until then, stay inside, stay safe, keep your kids inside. Don't let them hang out with 25-year-olds. And I'm out of here.